The call comes while I'm standing in the rain, staring at the iron gates of my grandfather's mansion as if they might blink first. They don't. The lawyer's voice is calm, too calm for what he's about to say. "Are you somewhere private?" he asks. I look behind me. My family stands clustered under umbrellas, aunt, uncle, cousins, faces tight, eyes sharp. They've been watching me since the funeral ended, counting, measuring, waiting. Yes, I lie. There's a pause. Paper rustles, a breath taken carefully like a weapon being loaded. "Your grandfather amended his will 3 months ago. You are the sole beneficiary." The rain grows louder. "Sole?" I repeat. $7 billion. Liquid and assets. The mansion, everything. Something shifts behind me. I don't turn around. I can feel it, the way predators feel movement in tall grass. "You should prepare yourself," the lawyer adds. "They're going to contest this." The line goes dead. I stay where I am, rain soaking through my coat. Because if I move, everything becomes real. Because I already know what's coming. When I finally turn, they're all smiling. Too fast, too wide. That's how betrayal always looks at first. They don't waste time. By morning, the house feels smaller, tighter. Voices travel through walls. Doors close when I enter rooms. My aunt won't meet my eyes. My uncle suddenly remembers every favor he ever did for my grandfather. My cousins whisper like children planning a prank. At breakfast, my mother places her hand over mine. "You know this isn't what he wanted," she says softly. I watch her fingers. Perfect nails, a tremor she doesn't realize is there. "He loved all of us," she continues. "He wasn't." Well, toward the end, there it is. The first incision. I nod, say nothing. Silence makes people careless. By noon, the lawsuit is filed. Undue influence, manipulation, claims that I forged documents, that I isolated an old man with dementia. They paint me as a parasite who crawled in during his final months and drained him dry. They don't mention the nights I sat by his bed while the nurses slept. They don't mention the conversations, the apologies. That evening, my uncle slams his glass on the table. "You'll ruin this family," he says. I look at him. Really look, he's afraid good. "I won't give it up," I say. The room goes quiet. Later that night, they change the locks. I sleep in my car. In the morning, I drive back alone. The mansion looms, unchanged, patient. It has always belonged to him, and now to me. I move in with one suitcase and a box of old notebooks he left me. The staff doesn't question it. They already know. Loyalty, I've learned, is a transaction like any other. Only this one was paid for decades ago. By afternoon, my phone explodes with messages, threats, pleas, legal, jargon disguised as concern. I don't answer. Instead, I open the notebooks. My grandfather was meticulous. Dates, names, accounts. And between the numbers, confessions, regret inked into margins. Patterns I never noticed as a child. My mother's name appears too often. So does my uncle's. I begin quietly. Bank records, old emails, phone logs he archived himself. He knew something was coming. He always did. The more I read, the calmer I become, because the betrayal isn't about money. It's older than that. The truth arrives on a Wednesday, sealed in a thin envelope. DNA results. I already know what they'll say. That's the strange part. Evidence doesn't shock, it confirms. I am not my father's child. The man who raised me was a placeholder. A lie my mother curated with surgical precision. The real father? My uncle. My grandfather's son. The family's golden boy. The reason the will changed. I close the envelope and breathe, slowly, deeply. That night, I invite them over, just to talk. They arrive armed with lawyers and smiles, confidence sharp enough to cut. I hand my mother the envelope. She opens it. Her face collapses in stages. Denial, fear, recognition. My uncle reaches for it. I pull it back. "Don't," I say. It's the only word I need. The next morning, they return with eviction papers. They're loud, certain, victorious, until they see who's standing beside me at the door. The lawyer, not theirs, mine. Behind him, 2 auditors, a private investigator, and the family doctor, retired, pale, sweating. Their faces freeze. Shock is beautiful when it's earned. My lawyer speaks calmly, outlining the embezzlement, the offshore accounts, the forged signatures, the medical records altered to declare my grandfather incompetent, signed by a doctor who owed my uncle too much money. I watch them shrink. Then I speak. You sued me for what you thought you deserved, I say. I inherited what you stole. No one interrupts. I won't press charges, I continue. You'll sign the settlement. Walk away quietly. My uncle opens his mouth. I meet his eyes. He closes it. They leave without another word. That night, I walk the halls alone. The mansion creaks softly like it's exhaling. I stop in my grandfather's study and sit in his chair. I finally understand the will. He gave me everything because I was the only one who wouldn't. Confuse power with hunger. Outside, the gates close. I don't watch. Some victories are louder when you don't need to hear them.